One popular saying when it comes to chicken rice is something that we mentioned already. Good chicken rice, eat the rice enough already. But another saying is that if you want to tell the quality of a chicken rice, you have to try their... Hello, welcome back. We are starting at Holland Drive at Margaret Drive Xing chicken rice. And then for the first order of business today, I got light too. I tried to order the usual order, the drumstick plus the breast meat, but she said no more drumsticks already and offered jiwei, thigh meat instead. When it's very obvious that behind there's like a dozen chickens. Might be how they want to portion it for sales, but still. So we got bone-in thigh stretching towards the oyster, as you can see here, and the biggest plate of rice so far in the series. So let's begin. One popular saying when it comes to chicken rice is something that we mentioned already. Good chicken rice, eat the rice enough already. But another saying is that if you want to tell the quality of a chicken rice, you have to try their breast meat. Perhaps the best breast meat so far in the series, kampong chicken included. It doesn't seem like they're using kampong chicken because of the color, although that is not definitive, but we can guess. But the flavor in the breast is every bit, if not more flavorful. Seasoned very well and very interestingly. The sauce on the bottom is 60-70% oil, and it floats on top this soya sauce that is very salty. Because it's used in such moderation, it does a very good job of bringing the taste of the chicken up. I want to have a subscription for this breast meat, 400 grams every day. The rice is good as well, although a little bit more polarizing. We talk about the good parts while we are here. Seasoning and aromatics well balanced, but they really bank on the oiliness. This is the greasiest chicken rice so far, and I think it works for them. Every mouthful of rice is very rich, very indulgent. But you can break that up with their chili, which has quite a bit of ingredients. You can see the whole chili is very pulpy. Putting it on the rice almost feels like it's juicy. But then comes the most contentious part. So far in the series, I have pegged the indicator of quality as Li Li Fen Ming, nice whole rice grains that carry the flavor. But recently I have been informed that some people actually like the sticky glutinous chicken rice. One of the secret techniques in making chicken rice is actually to include a little bit of glutinous rice to get this texture. Because you can see, these rice grains are broken and they are very sticky. Like pressing them together, it gets close to lo mai gai. But I would say that works for them. Having this whole bunch of rice that is high in fat is very enjoyable, even for somebody who likes the Li Li Fen Ming. Like, I'm not kidding about the oil. There's a layer of oil. Can you all see? This is like forming a trickle already. It's interesting that I've eaten so much chicken rice, but I have never thought about chicken rice being split to the Li Li Fen Ming group and the glutinous group. Both are very enjoyable, but I prefer the former. Honestly, no real misses across the board, except no soup. And lying. Good start. Now let's head further west. For our next stop, we are at Bukit Gombak. People stay in Bukit Gombak for two reasons. The first is to stay closer to their parents, and the second is Shimei chicken rice. This has been recommended a lot by people who stay near here. And we got the usual order with two very distinct characteristics. One is that they serve it under taugeh, something that goes very well with white chicken, but obviously polarizing. And the second is that they layer on a thick-looking sauce, which, some people really hate. The rice is very full and significantly coloured, unlike the soup. So, I have been eating chicken rice for about a month now, and it's still not lost on me. It's quite ridiculous when it comes to the texture of chicken in this series. Every score is either 8, 9 or 10. How ridiculous it is for the texture to be so good that is not worth mentioning. So we skip the texture of the chicken, we talk about the rice. You can see it's very full, very well separated, you can see the whole grain, but it's rather plump and mush. The resulting mouthfeel is a soft one, rather than it being well separated. Texture of the taugeh is nice and crunchy. Chili is good quality. Soup is quite surprising. I was mentally prepared to bash the soup in secret, but it is actually a pepper soup. Goes rather well with the chicken rice. Nothing too fancy, but good synergy. And then comes the polarizing parts. The chicken taste of taugeh. I don't know how the flavor diffused upwards, or maybe it's simply the broth is cooked in or in the sauce. It is one dish. Is that a good thing? I'm not sure. Preference of taugeh aside, I don't think the chicken tastes particularly chickeny. This is a factor that I have had problem freezing, cause like, what do you mean the chicken doesn't taste like chicken? But when you eat all these chicken rice back to back, some chicken tastes more like chicken. This is way lower on the scale compared to where we just came from, Margaret Drive. And then the second polarizing thing, which I have a very good feeling we'll come back to later in the series, is this thick sauce. You have probably eaten this sauce before. It tastes similar to that oyster sauce you put on veggies. I don't like it. This chicken already doesn't have a very strong chicken flavor. Now you infuse it with tauge. Now you cover it with this sauce. It's going for a very different palate. I mentioned in the last episode my ideal proportions are like 70-80% chicken, 20-30% sauce. Here I want to say the chicken is down to 40-50%. Nevertheless, still delicious and a unique take. I'm not sure if we have another bean sprout chicken later in this series, but it's still good nonetheless. Alright, let's head to the last spot in Jurong East. Our last stop today is at Jurong East at Xing in Hainanese boneless chicken rice. The first chicken rice that I had to queue or significantly queue for. I think there were like a dozen people in front of me, maybe 30-40 minutes. And queues for Singaporean hawker food are not built the same. Chicken rice is a cooked dish, so the preparation is much faster. Having a queue means they are doing really well, cause they don't work slow either. Anyway, we got the usual, very full rice grains and most interestingly, what seems like bits of garlic on the chicken. Let's give this a go. It started raining really heavily, but we have to get through this. This is a miss that I would not have expected. But first the hits, nice grains of rice. Today we have some mushy glutinous rice, but this reminds me why my preference is like this. There is such a satisfying feeling when eating nice separated, fluffy yet solid grains of rice. The texture is just incredible. It's a preference that goes beyond chicken rice. I've preferred rice like this all my life. I guess it's good I solidified my preference this episode. To the chicken, cooked very well. It is broiler chicken, so the taste does give way to this sweet, oily sauce. It is significantly sweet. We have seen this sauce a few times now, and I'm actually tempted to call this a Cantonese way of doing things. This sauce reminds me of Cantonese cooking. Some of you have mentioned to me Cantonese chicken rice, but after my research, I have not found a decisive line that separates Cantonese chicken rice. The closest clue I could find was Cantonese cooking methods used in Hainanese chicken rice. I mean, the lines are grey to begin with, since our version of Hainanese chicken rice is not strictly speaking Hainanese. But anyway, to the unexpected miss. The rice tastes like it is salted too late. If you have cooked anything before, you know that seasoning something at the start of the cook versus right at the end is very different. You want to cook something with salt, to let it penetrate, to let it even out, so that the level of saltiness tastes very natural. But here, it is very sharp. It tastes like after you have finished a dish, and then you sprinkle table salt on it, that saltiness is very piercing, very uncomfortable, especially in a dish like chicken rice. I don't know how this is possible, because chicken rice is cooked in a whole rice cooker, so it cannot be post-seasoned, but it does taste like that. And this isn't a case of saltiness preference, because even for those who like salty food, having something post-seasoned is rather obvious. The most likely reason is that it's a batch-to-batch thing. Anyway, the wind is blowing rain in my face, so let's get out of here and find a cafe. We are now at Glyph Supply Co, one of the most serious cafes I've been to in a while. Because tell me, what is $20.50 coffee? The coffee don't even sound like coffee, it sounds like Snickers. Anyway, I didn't get that, I get the ice white. So, pretty good. Anyway, recap. All three chicken rice today, I can see it being somebody's favorite. If you want something super oily, super starchy, glutinous rice with really good chicken, Margaret Drive is your pick. If you're not so much into the chicken taste, and it's such a strange thing to say, but Singaporeans, 羊肉不要羊的味道，牛肉不要牛的味道，鸡肉不要鸡的味道。While it might sound strange, there's actually a market for it. If you don't want the chicken flavor to be too strong, you want it to come with bean sprouts, lather some sauce on it, Shimei at Bukit is your pick. If you want something easier to eat, something that you can eat 3 to 5 times a week, Xing with that sweet garlic sauce and that whole grain rice, great pick. Throughout these first 4 episodes, if there is one thing I wanted to do, is to at least establish the variables, establish my preferences, from the seasoning, aromatics, fat ratio of the rice, to the integrity of the rice grain, to how it behaves to its neighboring rice, to kampong or broiler chickens, the chicken flavor to sauce ratio, to what makes a chicken rice, other than the chicken and rice, the pickles, the soup, the chili. 12 chicken rice in, I would say we have explored quite a few variables. Cause in a field with a saturation of masters, there's no real mistakes at the top tier, only styles and preferences. One plate I'll walk for the chicken rice, 2 plates I'll take a bus for the chicken rice, and 3 plates I'll go anywhere in the city for the chicken rice. And the chicken rice today gets 312. I think I need to moderate already. How can it be that 12 chicken rice in, rating is so difficult already? And it's only going to get more difficult. Because in this series, we want to find the best chicken rice in the world. While it is very likely that the best is somewhere around this island, we cannot be sure. Not until we visit every city that loves the chicken rice. So, it's that time of the year guys. Pack enough clothes, we won't be back for a while. Welcome to KL, our first stop for the overseas arc. It seems like I travel to KL every year, and every year I have good food, be it yulek, char siu yong, table and apron, nasi kerabu moknap, and I have a very good feeling this year will be the same with chicken rice. This is the start of a month-long journey to look at chicken rice outside of our island. I'm super excited to do it. I hope you guys are too. But all that and more begins next week. For now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.